Date night fragrances for men. Obviously, there are tons of fragrances that are pretty good for just the evening and going on dates in general, but I've handpicked some pretty good, in my opinion, pretty good options for men, specifically for going on dates. So, the first one I'm going to mention is a classic. Most people have probably heard of this. This is Dior Intense, specifically Intense. I've reviewed some of the other Dior Hommes, but they're better for the daytime because they're lighter, fresher, crisper, you know. This is heavier. This is smoother. I said before that this is a very kind of seductive, attractive sort of fragrance. The reason is, it has some very unique notes. It has Virginia cedar, vetiver, musk mallow, iris, pear, and lavender. And the thing about the iris note, it really smooths this fragrance. Some men's fragrances are too harsh. They're too in your face, too trying to show off, too much. This is smooth. This is, you know, sophisticated. And like I said, the iris really smooths out some of the rougher notes in this fragrance, like the vetiver, for instance, or the musk mallow. And it has a little bit of crispness from the pear, a little bit of sweetness from the iris and the lavender, not really that much, and then the base notes, of course, the cedar and the vetiver. So what you're getting is a very, very warm, slightly spicy fragrance, which is a great date night fragrance, and in general, good for the evening or cold weather. You really can't go wrong with this because it is from Dior, first of all, a nicely crafted fragrance, and in general, it's just nice. You can't go wrong with it. Then, if you want something a little more subtle, you know, you don't want to be too overbearing, then you could go for, you probably can't see, but this is called Pegasus from Pathum de Mali. And this is a pretty light fragrance. I would say it's a little more of a daytime fragrance, but it's still good for the evening. The thing about this, it has a really delicious almond note. And the thing about almonds is that they're unique. You don't really get a lot of almond notes in fragrances, especially men's fragrances. It's not common. So when you wear anything with almond in it, you're gonna stand out, you know? It's something that will catch someone's attention. And the fact that this is a more subtle fragrance, you know, you have to be a little bit closer to really smell it. A very elegant fragrance. You know, if you want to be more suave, this is a good option because it is very smooth, classy, and like I said, unique. Not a lot of almond fragrances out there, so you will stand out when wearing this. Plus, Pathum de Mali is a really, really high top shelf brand. You know, this is the high quality stuff. So, you know, there you go. Then, this is actually a unisex option, but really, really good for, you know, of course, men. This is Gentle Fluidity from Maison Francisque Jean. This is more if you want to be a little more crisp, a little more fresh, clean cut. This has notes of juniper berries. I would say juniper berries are the strongest note in this fragrance because they're super crisp, it's still a natural note, kind of like you're in the forest, but despite that, it's very fresh, it's very clean. Then it's immediately counteracted by nutmeg, which of course is a very warm spice. And that balance between the juniper and the nutmeg is delicious because you're getting the freshness and the lightness of the juniper immediately mixed with the heavy warmth of the nutmeg. And that's a very unique mixture. Not a lot of fragrances do that. It's also balanced with a little bit of musk, a little bit of amber, a little bit of wood. So what you're getting is primarily a relatively light fragrance with some crisp notes, followed by this very warm under layer, you know? So you're getting this kind of unique approach. It changes as you wear it because it's pretty fresh when you first put it on, but then it gets a little bit warmer, a little bit more intriguing as you wear it. So, a very good option. Then, both these last two, both from Dior. This is Tobacco Color, and then this is Ambre Nuit. So these are both unisex actually, and both are actually some of my favorites. Tobacco Color obviously is a tobacco fragrance. Very good if you want to be kind of, you know, mysterious. It's a very heavy fragrance, you know, so not everyone can pull it off, and not everyone likes it. Some people don't like those heavier, smokier fragrances. I think they're very nice. I think they're very classic, you know. So the thing about Tobacco Color, it's not a harsh smokiness, because a lot of men's fragrances that use tobacco are too harsh. They're like someone smoking cigarettes on both sides of you at once, you know, too much. But Tobacco Color is a very smooth, you know, unusually smooth tobacco fragrance, smoky fragrance. You know, I don't think most people would have a problem with it because it is so smooth. Then, Ambre Nuit, which is probably my top 5 favorite fragrances, that's really good because it has a beautiful mixture of notes. It has this really nice citrus opening, primarily grapefruit and bergamot, followed by pink pepper and damask rose. And some men are like, oh, I don't really want to wear a rosy fragrance. No, it's not your typical, you know, feminine rosy fragrance. This is smooth. This is not hyper sweet, sugary sweet. This is smooth. You know, if you've smelled a rose in real life, you'll find it's not actually that sweet. It just has this very unique smell. Then the base notes are ambergris, guaiac wood, cedar, and patchouli. So those notes immediately warm up the fragrance, make it a little bit more masculine. It is still unisex, but it's more on the masculine side. This is such a good fragrance. First of all, very long lasting. This will probably last 7 to 8 hours. Great projection. You can probably fly across the room. People could smell it. I like the way it evolves on the skin as well, because like I said, it has this citrusy opening, followed by the spiciness of the pink pepper, and then the warmth of the ambergris and the wood notes and things like that. So what you're getting is just this deliciously warm, heavy fragrance. Not too heavy, not overwhelming, but just, you know, like a nice velvety blanket sort of thing. Nice, comforting sort of fragrance. And very luxurious. Being from Dior, of course, very, very luxurious fragrance. I can't imagine anyone disliking it because it is so nicely crafted. You would have to hate any kind of heavy fragrance to dislike this particular Ambre Nuit fragrance. So, in general, any of these fragrances would be really, really good for going on a date. So, that's what I have to say about that. If you have any opinions about these fragrances, you can always leave those down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.